This is it, Indianapolis, the final regular season battleground before the team championship, and the stakes could not be higher. Front and center, Joaquin Niemann and Jon Rahm in a title fight for the ages. Niemann's got a 12-point lead. It's win or finish, runner-up, and he's the champion, but that's no cushion with Rahm charging ahead, and the bottom, Stenson, Ogletree, Pereira swinging for their LIV futures in a fight to avoid relegation. Welcome to the Club 54 pre-round show. I'm your host, Christian Crosby, joined by three-time PGA Tour winner, 4 Aces champion, and Mr. Swagger himself, Pat Perez, and your favorite LIV golf analyst, birthday boy, and my best friend forever, Jerry Fultz. Welcome to the show, boys. We have a heavyweight title matchup, head-to-head between Joaquin Niemann and Jon Rahm. Wako with 5 wins this season. Jon, the defending champ with the 2024 individual championship, and it's 12 points between these two. Only one will be crowned the winner at the end of this week, and I couldn't be more excited, boys. How are we feeling?
You think you're the only one excited. We have sold out of individual day passes, grounds passes, Friday and Saturday. We have a limited number, a very small limited number of premium hospitality, and we're set to have our most attended domestic event in LIV golf history. It's been a short history, but this is the new barometer. Indy for the individual championship.
Pat, I know you got to be excited because hats off to you. You're putting in extra work this week. You were on the set before everyone else today.
I was doing a phone interview for 30 minutes.
8:53
talking about this
a.m.
event and the next week's event in Michigan, actually.
So we know you're really excited. What comes to top of mind as we enter into our final week? I know
excited.
You're ready to go.
I love the top. I love where I'm going to be. I'm going to be with the relegation group, if you want to call it that, what it is. But I'm excited.
All right.
I'm excited. It's going to be. I mean, it's packed out there. The weather's going to be great. I'm looking forward to a good day.
Yeah, it's a huge crowd behind us, and they're all here to see two guys go head to head.
Joaquin Niemann, me and Jerry,
and Jon.
That's right.
Yeah, you too.
That's right.
That's right. That is correct. I believe a 58% chance for Joaquin Niemann to take the crown this week. That's pretty big for Wako going into this week, Jerry.
Astonishing that he has 5 wins. Rahm has 0, and he's only got a 58% prognosticated chance to win the individual title. Rahm just said Rahm is not going to finish out of the top 10. He doesn't know how to. So it all depends on the kind of start and the kind of play Wako throws at you. You look there. Now, Rahm has not had a win. Niemann's had 5. And yet the average finish, second from the last row there, the average finish, Rahm is demolishing Waco's average finish. That is astounding consistency. And then, you can't discount what Wako has done, beating this field 5 times in 12 tries.
Yeah. Well, Rahm is undefeated with late season pressure. He obviously did this same time last year against Joaquin Niemann. How are you feeling about Rahm heading into this week, Pat?
Same as always. He's always the guy to beat. In my opinion, every single week, he is the guy to beat. In my opinion, he is the best player in this league. I know Walker's won 5 times and he hasn't, but Rahm is, in my opinion, the best player in this field. I expect him to show that again this week, and I won't give you my opinion, but
it means a lot to Rahm. It would mean a lot to Rahm to win the individual title. It would mean more if it came on the heels of his first victory of the season.
Yes.
Well, we're going to do a deeper dive on those two, but first we're going to toss over live to Rachel Drummond. She's out on the range getting all the inside scoop as we speak. Rachel, I want to start by asking, what are the vibes like? We know there's a lot of pressure happening this week for the guys. What are you feeling?
Well, Christian, it's quite interesting. The vibes on this side of the fence, where all the crowds are, is immaculate. Loads of energy. They can't wait to be here for the first ever event at this golf course. But on the range, we've got players that are battling for their place to play in this league next year. So I'm being tactical as ever, I'm going to grab James Dunkley first. Now, your team principal of Majestics, I don't want to bother your boys. There's boys fighting, for their careers right now. What's the general vibe?
I wouldn't say they're fighting for their careers, like they're fighting for their spot on the team next year, for sure. The vibe's good. It's been a challenging year, but these guys are icons of the game. They know what they're doing. All they can do is focus on what's in front of them. And the great thing about golf is this isn't like football where you can have a bad season and win the last game of the season and it all turns around. The beauty of this week is, a big finish for us as individuals or as a team can really change the outcomes for the season. So it's got the chance to be a great week, and that's what they're focused on doing.
Love it, James. He's so right. One win takes care of everything. Winning takes care of everything. Let's get Rick Smith, who's the coach of Brendan Still. Now, you told me something amazing. He won in Adelaide. You said one swing the same swing this week. Talk to me about the mentality of doing that.
Well, there's a lot of pressure, you know, for a lot of guys this week. And I think one of the keys, you cannot get like tomorrow's clouds or clouds over today's sunshine. That was what I said. So in other words, it's looking good, so just trust it. And you have to trust it because you don't want to get clouded. The clouds ruin it all. So let's enjoy it, let's embrace it, and let's go do something.
Love it.
We'll talk about it later.
Then we'll reassess. Thank you so much, Rick. If I play again, I want him in my camp. How beautiful is that? You know, you can't let the result ruin your mood. No clouds around here. Let's get Burmy, last week's winner. Let's watch him. Can we get through the crowds? I want to ask him about that final putt to take the trophy. I've been told I can't. I don't know if he's being serious or not. I'm going in anyway. Burmy.
Hello, Rach.
Just a quick one.
Sure.
Hello, champ, first off.
You're wondering why I'm not wearing a hat?
Yeah, what's going on?
I'm tanning my head. I've got a Stuart Singh tan line going on.
It's all about the aesthetic.
Of course.
What was going through your head on that final putt to lift the trophy in the playoff?
Emotion. You know, there was a lot. You know, obviously what I'd been through leading up to that point, you know, a little bit of a dip and a lot of hard work, and just, I know if you give a player like Rahm another chance, he's going to take it. So that was my chance. And I just stood there and I said, I'm not going to give anybody another putter. I'm going to make sure I will it in, basically. I'm going to will it in, no matter what happens, will it in.
And now you're focusing on your tan. What a change.
Yeah.
Play well this week, Burmy. Let's have a look. Blandy was here. He's getting ready. Let's get 21-year-old Ballister. I don't know what's going on here with his bag. It appears that they're doing some fixing. I'm looking at the technique of that fix. Let's get Ballister over the top there. An amazing week. He's got Sergio just behind him. Might see if I can get one final thought for him once he's hit his shot. Jose, amazing last week. What a performance. How do you then reset again for a new tournament week?
Not much. I just did the same thing I was doing the last few weeks, working out from Monday to Wednesday pretty hard and just kind of like slowly getting into setup for Friday. So I'm glad to say that I'm feeling good today. So really excited for this final week with the guys before the team championship.
Beautiful answer. There's no days off, is it? Straight back, play well. Now let's finish up with a final thought about the course. There are some drivable holes. Oh my God, I've got to run. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, everyone. We've got Ross Butler here, who's a film star, and the Ripper Boys. I saw you. I had to run. How are you doing?
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. Now, you played in the Pro-Am with the Ripper Boys. What did you learn first off?
I mean, I just love playing with them. I love playing with our other amateurs, but the Rippers, God, they're just a good group.
And how's your golf game?
So pretty good. I'm swinging off like an 8 right now. I'm trying to get down to 5 by the end of the year. Just switched down to like an 8-degree driver, so I'm trying to get that under control. I don't know if I need 8-degree, but yeah, I'm just sorting things out.
Love it. Enjoy the LIV experience.
Yeah,
Thank you for chatting.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Sorry, guys. I saw him and I had to run.
You did a great job, Rich. You got there in time, and thank you as always. One course, one weekend, everything on the line, and it comes down to these two individuals, Joaquin Niemann and Jon Rahm, going head-to-head, and there's Waco with the lead, 12 points above Jon Rahm as we head into the championship week. But the most important storyline that's pretty interesting is these two guys right here. Pretty much the same results come to the end of the season, but totally two different journeys how they got there. Let's talk about that for a little bit. Jerry, when you think about how these two guys have played throughout this season, totally different storylines, both at the top of the individual stages.
Yeah, you look at Waco's score worm, we call this graphic, and it looks like a seismograph from the San Andreas Fault over the last 60 years. That's how inconsistent he's been. It's been great when he's great, but it's been mediocre at best when he's not great. And then you look at Jon Rahm, and Pat Perez phrased this as an honest man's polygraph.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the opposite of my polygraph right here.
Yeah.
I believe that.
That's how consistent he is. I mean, that looks like a guy getting an EKG and he barely registers like he's not even awake.
So Niemann's path is simple. He either needs to win or finish in second place, and this thing is secure for Waco.
Yeah,
that's correct. However, for Jon, he needs to place 7th or better, and Waco has to have a bad day.
Right.
So Thinking about that, I know you spoke to John a lot, Pat. It's clear that he wants to win. He wants to stand on the top of that podium and get first. Do you think that's at the top of his mind, or is he just playing for the points?
He always plays to win. The fact that if he plays the way we've all seen him play, he will win. But, you know, he just has not. There's been things going on. His wedge play hasn't been as strong as it has been in the past. I think that's been holding him back. He hasn't been making the putts that he has been making. But John's always going out to win. I don't think he's worried about the 12 points. He's worried about shooting as low as he can for 3 days, trying to get himself in a position to win another tournament. And again, like I said, he doesn't actually have to win to do it. But I talked to him. I said, if you didn't win this season, but you still won the individual title, would it be disappointing? He said, yes. Because his mind, he wants to win. Walker's won 5 times. You know, again, he can win the individual title without winning a tournament. That is not what John Mont wants to do.
Jerry,
he wants to win 5 times.
He won't keep an eye on what the points could possibly turn out to until it was late on Sunday, his last night on Sunday, and he didn't feel like he had a chance to win. Until that point, he's playing for one result and one result only.
Jerry, before you go, I got to get your personal opinion. Yeah. Just what you know about the course, what you know about these two guys. Who do you got your money on this week?
We're going to see some low scores. I mean, literally, this course doesn't suit anybody in particular. Some of the long hitters can drive some of the par 4s, others can't, but it's really risky in doing so. I'm not sure that risk will pay off. I think we're going to see a scoring fest out here, and I think it's quite fitting for our individual title, for the fans who've showed up in record numbers to be able to witness some incredible golf at this beautiful facility.
That was a beautiful way to not answer that question.
I'll be,
here.
Fair enough. Well played. Jerry, thanks for always joining us here on the pre-round show. Have fun on the main show, my friend.
Thank you.
And stay with us here on the Club 54 pre-round show. More to come. Some thoughts from Pat about the team competition. Chatham Hills, a masterpiece by Pete Dye, the final course he designed and built before his passing in 2020. To talk more about this beautiful course, it's Don Boulay and Sue-Ann Hang.
You know, Sue-Ann, the club at Chatham Hills is Pete Dye's last design, and I love Pete Dye courses. I think he's one of the best course designers in the last 50 years. But this is not your typical Pete Dye design. No railway ties to be seen, and the sight lines off the tee are different from his normal courses. It's very generous off the tee and is not particularly long, and I think because of that, this week the scoring's going to be low. In fact, I predict 20 under par or more. It's going to be the winning score this week.
You haven't been wrong that often, Dob, so we'll see what happens. But you know what? He has sprinkled some of his magic touch to it, though. A few risk-reward holes, and I think, like you said, generous off the tee box. And I think it's going to just favor the longer hitters like Dean Burmester, who I'll be following today. Obviously, coming off a really hot win last week in Chicago. He's hitting the ball fantastic. I know he might go for hole 10. He's definitely going to go for hole 12, and all the par 5s are reachable with short irons to a wedge in. So if he can really take advantage of those scoring holes, I think he's going to go really low today.
Thank you, Dom. Thank you, Sue-Ann. Pat, Dom just predicted 20 under par or even more than that.
That's where I had it. I think someone's going to shoot 61 today. Yeah, wow. I think one day, each day, someone's going to shoot about 61. It's just, it's perfect scoring conditions. There's not much wind. The course is soft. The greens are soft. The greens are perfect. You know, it's kind of long. It's kind of short. So I just see really low scores. I'm saying anywhere between 19 and 22, which is incredible for 3 days.
Right. Between, it really is. Considering these guys haven't played on this course before, how much do you think that'll change things?
Nothing.
You don't think it'll change at all? All right. All right. All right, we have more to discuss on the Club 54 pre-round show, but first we're going to toss it over to our very own Annabelle Angel with her 5 under feature. She's got 5 fun facts to get us right for this week.
Feast or famine for Joaquin Niemann this season. 5 wins in 13 starts, but some tough weeks too. One thing's for sure, when he wins, he starts hot. In those victories, his round 1 scoring average is 66.8, a full 5 shots better than his other events. Let's see if he comes out flying today. Playing alongside Wacko is John Rahm, who hopes to pass Niemann in the standings for the season-long individual crown. This Pete Dye designed course bodes well for John if you take into account that he has 3 professional wins on Pete Dye Classics, 2 at PGA West. The other race we have our eyes on relates to relegation, the players fighting for their right to play next year at LIV. 2016 Open champion Henrik Stenson leads the tour in driving accuracy, but hasn't registered a top 24 finish since Korea in early May. He's on the bubble, meaning no points this week, and he could be overtaken. Next week's LIV Team Championship in Michigan is shaping up as a real showstopper. Rahm's Legion 13 have locked up the top seed, but Torquay GC, captained by Niemann, have momentum after back-to-back runner-up finishes. We're here in Westfield, Indiana, a lovely suburb due north of Indianapolis, which has grown 7 times in population since the year 2000 and has mightily embraced this event. Entertainment extends beyond the golf this weekend with music by Riley Green and Jason Derulo, who are co-headlining the festivities tonight and tomorrow.
We're going to talk a little bit about that, but are you excited for Jason Derulo?
Seen him before.
That's your guy, right?
Nah, not really. I'm excited for next week. Imagine Dragons.
I'll be there with you.
Swedish House. That's my group.
That's your jam.
That's my action.
We'll learn more about that with the Pat Chat a little later in the show. Let's talk a little bit about relegation, something that Annabelle mentioned. As 2 guys are fighting for the crown at the top, some of the guys on the bottom are fighting for survival. Guys like Andy Ogletree, Ian Poulter, Mito Pereira. This is their last attempt at saving their LIV careers. Poulter, for example, has been a fighter his whole career. Is this the toughest test that he's faced?
I'll tell you right now, if Ian Poulter can put his Ryder Cup mentality into this week, he will get it done, and he will get in.
Wow.
He is so strong-minded, and I know he's put everything in this. I say it every week, but if he can somehow putt like he does in the Ryder Cup, play like he does in the Ryder Cup, with that mentality, he will have a great week, and he will get those points to get himself out of that zone.
I would love to see it, Ian, do that. Let's talk a little bit about Mito. He's only got a 1.8% chance to survive. What does a miracle week look like for Mito?
He played well last week.
He played great.
So he is trending, and it's an easier course. Again, he hits it a mile. You know, I talked to his caddy. He said he's excited. He's playing well. But again, everyone's going to be shooting low. Everyone's going to play well this week because the course is easier. So it's really up in the air. I mean, it's going to be really interesting to watch. I've got this group today, so I'm really interested to see what's going to happen.
One thing I love about Mito's story is the support he has from his teammates.
Incredible.
You see
incredible.
Just the rapport that these guys, they do everything together. They're rooting for him. They have his back. They have nothing but praises to sing about this guy each and every day. That's got to help him, right? Especially on a week like this when there's nothing but pressure. All eyes are on him to see what he can do, and he's got that support from his team.
He does, but this club right here is what needs to help him. This is the only club that can help him in the entire plan. Nothing else comes other than that putter. If he makes those putts, the way he hits it, he will get out of that zone. He'll get the points he needed. But he's got to putt well. He's not putted well this year.
On the subject as well, Andy Ogletree, you know, high flyer, still being a great teammate and support to him as well. Can he pull it out? Can he pull it out?
Well, he's got the injury. He's got an injury. You know, I'll be interested to see how far he goes into the round. If it's nagging and it bothers him and he starts to get over par early, whatever, he might just be thinking, look, I'm just going to go take care of this and then try to come back, you know, because there's no reason. It's so hard to play through injury. His back's up against the wall. Anyway, he's got a lot ahead of him.
There's a familiar face, Alex Palou.
Does he know how to drive that?
Yeah, I think he does. That's the pace car he's getting in, leading all of our LIV players out onto the course in true Indy fashion. This guy is a 4-time IndyCar Series champion. He's won 3 straight, actually.
That is awesome.
Yeah, he's won 4 of the last 5. That's in 2021, 2023, 24, and of course 2025. That's a pretty nice car right there, huh, Pat?
Yeah, these new Corvettes are awesome. They've really come together. Is that the ZR1? Yeah, it is.
And this is something you got to love about LIV Golf. You never know what you're going to expect
But
at a LIV Golf
that is
tournament.
cool they did that. It would have been better in an Indy car. That Indy car would have been cool.
I mean, the pace car is pretty darn cool.
It's
Pat.
awesome.
And Alex has also won the 2025 Indy 500. He's the first Spaniard to win both an Indy 500 and Indy car title. Pretty impressive stuff. Here we go. Looks like
got the carbon fiber wheel.
You got it.
That TR1 supposed to be lightning too.
So he's going to be leading our LIV Golf players out onto the course. In just a moment, we have the shotgun start on the way. He's got 19 career IndyCar wins.
That's great.
8 of them, Pat, just this year. This dude's
it's amazing.
On
it is amazing.
Fire right now.
It is amazing.
So what a great way to start our tournament.
You know he'd love to get that car up to about 200 right now too.
For sure.
That is a sharp looking car. Those Corvettes have come a long way.
And in true Indy fashion, I think the engine is now started. It's officially going to start our battle here for our individual championship. Big thanks to Alex Pillow for making that happen. He's going to be pulling in right around that green. And just back to relegation, chat a little bit further. You know, what's next? Worst case scenario. Is there a journey back to LIV that would make sense?
Well, they can go to the qualifying, which they call, I don't know, I can't remember what they call it. But they have it's
promotions.
Promotions. Yeah, the promotion term. But the thing about that is you've got about 150 guys, and there's one spot.
Right.
You know, so you go all the way over to Abu Dhabi and you play for one spot. Now the guy, like, you know, the guy that gets it obviously is excited, but again, you're the wild card. But that's just the start of it. But yeah, it is a tough road back into this league.
And it's definitely going to be an interesting thing to see with a team like the Majestics, for example, Ian Poulter being one of the captains of the team, that entire team in a situation where things may have to change
I'll
next
tell you
year.
what, if Mito and Ogletree happen to play incredible this week, and they finished like top 5 each, well, that puts Stenson out too. So now you got Stenson and Poulter out. So now you got half the team, 2 captains that are relegated. Now you're really scrambling to try to find something.
I mean, as someone who's been in the situation before last year, you know exactly how this feels. You know exactly what these guys are going through. And here we are. We are off. Alex Pillow leading the way. A pretty brilliant visual here in Indianapolis.
Is that your bus?
I'm surprised you're not in the car, Pat.
I know.
We should have set that up.
I mean, I'm allowed to drive in this state.
We're just moments away from that shotgun start. John Rahm taking on Waco Neiman.
It's going to be.
Did you have any words with those 2 guys this week or last week,
I
Pat?
talked to John. He knows where he's at. We didn't really talk a lot about golf, but I know where John's mind's at. He wants nothing but to win. That's it. He's got nothing else to do. He's got nothing else. He knows he needs to prove himself. 1, that he can win, and then 2, he wants to win this individual title.
And just such a cool moment here at LIV Golf. A big smile on Alex Pillow's face as he leads the charge.
He wants to let that thing rip so bad.
He's not used to driving this pace.
No.
But a special moment happening here at LIV Golf Indy. Moments away from our shotgun start. Stay with us. This is the Club 54 pre-round show.
What a scene.
All right, one of the fan favorite segments of our show is Pat Chat. That's when we supply the Pat and you supply the chat. These are fan submitted questions. We have no idea what they are, and you have to be brutally honest with your answer.
I'm going to get stumped again like last week. I'm still stumped by that question.
Last Pat Chat, you had 0 words.
The question was so tricky.
Thoughts on the club at Chatham Hills? What are your thoughts?
I think it's a nice course. I wish they would play it all the way back. Unfortunately, the weather didn't cooperate, so they're going to move some tees up. But I think it's a phenomenal shape. I think the scene around the course, all the homes and all the residents that are partying and having a great time, I think that is awesome.
Yeah.
It's a huge deal.
You're hearing good things from the players as well, right?
Players
about the
love
course.
It. It's a phenomenal spot. I hope they're here a long time.
Thumbs up, 5 stars. All right, let's go to the next one. What's happening with Smash GC? Will they turn it around? Good question.
I don't know. They got to get their captain. Their captain's got to play better. That's all there is to it. But you know, they're a phenomenal team. They just haven't played that well.
Shout out to all of our Smash GC fans out there. We appreciate you. Here's the next one. How much do you interact with the players when you're on the course but off mic?
All the time.
I can answer that question. That's where Pat lives.
All the time.
Who's your favorite guy to go chat with when you're out there? You have a favorite?
Well, actually, I talk to Rom a lot, but really anybody. I mean, Bryson, actually, I talk to all day.
I'll tell you what question should be up there. Who did you have dinner with last night? You're always having dinner with somebody.
Rom and Sergio and Blandy and Jerry and Faraday and all that. It was great. It was awesome.
Man, I'm waiting for my invite to that.
Yeah, the room's right there. You know where it is.
And there he goes, leading the way.
There all night.
He's almost gotten to his destination there, Pat. Alex Palou, 4-time IndyCar Series champion. Getting the energy going here at LIV Golf Indy in true Indy fashion. More to come. Final thoughts from Pat as we head into our shotgun start. All right, it wouldn't be a formal pre-round show without our boys in the booth, Arlo White and David Faraday, weighing in on all of the individual championship action.
David, I'm already in love with the club at Chatham Hills, and I want one of these houses over here on the 18th fairway. They're on most of the fairways out here. People literally living on the course, throwing parties. I think some have even built some bleachers out there as well to get all their friends and family around. So the atmosphere is going to be terrific. In terms of the golf course itself, with so much at stake, with the title, with the top 24 in relegation, is this the sort of golf course you want for a shootout in the final regular season event?
It is, Arlo. It's the perfect venue. It was the last golf course that Pete Dye designed, and I think he must have been in a good mood or benevolent, because it's not as difficult as some of his earlier work. And it's the sort of golf course that brings everybody into play. Some of the shorter hitters like a Richard Bland or an Abraham Hanser, are going to have a great chance around here, because, the length, the guys with all the length don't have such an advantage. So it's going to be a bun fight.
We are going to be joined by Jerry Foltz in the booth for the call, but he's currently at a breakfast at number 35 over there, so we hope he joins us in time.
Thank you, Arlo. Thank you, David. And here's something to get very excited about. Our good friend Ben Baller. He's no stranger to the show here or to the LIV Golf League. Thank you, Tokyo. On a flight now headed straight to Indianapolis to deliver the LIV Golf League individual championship ring. Ben Baller is the designer of our championship rings, and he does a phenomenal job. I wish he had added a sneak peek or something in that post.
Where was mine? We won the team. We didn't get a ring.
That's something you're going to have to take up with Ben Baller yourself, Pat. And here's one more look at Alex Palou, 4-time IndyCar Series champion, leading all of our LIV Golf athletes into the course in true Indy fashion. A beautiful sight to see here. Maybe he's going a little too fast. I don't even see the carts behind him anymore.
He would love to drive that track.
All right, now every week, recently, we've done some expert picks. It's when our entire staff chooses who we think will be the winners of our week. Now, we're going into our championship individual week. I have an interesting pick that is the same as Jerry's, but we got to talk about your pick. Let's take a look at everyone's selection. Most people are going with John Rahm. No surprise there. Arlo's going with John and Legion, so is Suan. But wait a minute, Pat, you're going with Harold Varner III and the 4 Aces.
HV's trending. He's trending. He's my boy. It's his birthday. I want him to win this week, but I got to get these Aces have got to get a win. They haven't won since London 23 when I was on the team. They've got to get a win going into next week, hopefully, get some confidence going, but I always took with the Aces, so.
Not just HV3, the entire 4 Aces team has been trending upward since mid-season. They haven't slowed down.
They're ready.
You say this course really suits them?
It suits everybody, but I like the way it suits those guys, for sure. I drove 9 holes with them the other day. They're all playing great, so.
Final thoughts, Pat, as we head into our shotgun start. Where's your head at? Who do you have your eyes on? What's the biggest story in your mind?
A lot of action. For me, it's a relegation, the main thing. I mean, John and Waco, we'll get into more of that Sunday. They know what's going on, but the relegation is such a big story because someone's going to be in and someone's going to be out. And that is just the way it is, and they're going to have a long time to figure out what they're going to do next, and they got 3 days ahead of them. The 54 holes to prove that they still belong here.
You hear that music, right?
Oh, I hear it,
That means it's time. We want to thank all of you guys for joining us, and I only got one more word to say. Join us for our main coverage on FS1, following that live on Fox, and then it's back to to us in the post-round show. Thank you for watching.
Peace.
Peace.